Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Quick show and tell today, guys. I want to share with you guys another firearm acquisition. Now, guys, when I review firearms, just know, there are so many. The internet is flooded with, or YouTube is flooded with YouTube reviewers. I just mainly share this stuff because what I find is a lot of times when it comes to, most of my demographic on my channel is men. And when it comes to guy stuff, guy stuff kind of overlaps. I feel like if a guy likes watches, he may like guns too. Cologne, leather jackets, boots, it's all masculine kind of stuff. Ladies, girls, gals. I'm not saying it's not for you either, but I'm just saying my demographic, it appeals to men more than women. By all means, ladies, if you want to watch the channel, you are more than welcome. But I want to share this stuff because, it is fun, right? And so, again, when I review guns, I'm not a gun expert. I've shot, I've taken some classes, I enjoy firearms, I enjoy plinking. Of occasional target shooting, but I just like to collect them and I enjoy them, and I also like the comfort of having one on me at all times because we do live in a crazy world. So with that being said, there's a lot of responsibility in having a gun. It's a game changer in any situation. I always like to lean towards always using my fists above anything else, but it's nice to have that as a backup, and it's extremely, there's so many people who carry guns, despite, I don't want this to be a political thing or get involved in personal opinions. For me, I consider it one of the biggest responsibilities, having a firearm, the ability to carry a firearm. I think there should be really more regulation and more, training. I don't have all the answers on this. I'm just saying that it is a huge responsibility, and just kind of keep that in mind when I do a review. I'm not, coming here telling you what I would do in a situation, because anybody who tells you that, who is not combat trained, who has not been through combat situations, really doesn't know what they would actually do, in any kind of horrible, life-threatening situation. You hope you do the right thing. You hope you would follow through with training. Hopefully you've had it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when adrenaline kicks in, fear, all these emotions that go along with your life being threatened, the only thing that really helps to dictate in any situation, no matter what it is, a sort of a predicted outcome is experience in that situation over and over again. And that repetition of being there, done that, right? So, so when I review these, these are very... more like show and tells like you'd have, in kindergarten, okay? So, today I want to share with you guys, this is the EAA Gerson Regard. So, again, with YouTube, all my guns, anytime I pull them out to do a video or hand them to somebody or show them off, whatever it is, they're always cleared and checked. This has been cleared already, but just for purpose of the video, the gun is empty. I'm going to pull the magazine out because you'll have the YouTube trolls come out the woodwork and... of course, tell me how I shouldn't have done something right or do something wrong. So, whatever. So, amazing gun. This is a Beretta 92 clone. So, believe it or not, a little story here with this gun. I absolutely hated this gun. There was no reason for it. I didn't have anything against quality or anything like that, or I didn't know anything about it. My dad's always liked the Beretta 92. Classic firearm, been around forever. I'd say it's almost as iconic as your 1911s. I just never liked it. And what really turned me on to it was, now that I've been, getting more guns and kind of getting more involved in the collecting, I just like variety, right? And so I was looking for different full-size guns, and what I find difficult nowadays, and I'm sure you gun guys can attest to this, I'm not saying one's better than another, but it's hard to find all metal frame and slide firearms. You'll find that a lot of guns are using the polymer on the frame, of course, and then of course your metal, some sort of metal slide, right? Again, I'm not an expert here, but I like the idea of all steel, right? And again, not saying one is better than another. It's just more of a personal thing. I really like the idea of and the weight and the feel of an all steel gun, right? And so, or an all metal gun. So, I absolutely love this firearm. So, believe it or not, what really kind of started to turn me on to was I saw the EAA Gerson Regard in their Cerakote flat dark earth, or their tan color, two-tone black. And the price on it was about $375, which is pretty incredible, right? These Beretta 92s, Taurus clones, those kind of things, they're upwards of $600 to $800, right, and up. So when I saw the price point on this, I was pretty amazed, and that's what really drew me to the gun, was the price and of course the color. I did end up getting the black, and the reason I got the black was because I wanted to accessorize it with different grips, right? And these are aftermarket grips. I'll talk about those in a second. But also, I wanted the ability to just kind of put whatever grips I wanted on it. And for the price, once I was going to spend $374 as opposed to $347, you know, I just don't want to spend the extra money. Because once you got to that desert tan color, then they have another color, which is the burnt bronze, which I like more. You're spending $429. So you're getting close to almost $100 more. And then, you know, I don't know. For me, the value of just getting an all-black gun, you really can't go wrong with black. Plus, I've been eyeballing these grips. I almost bought these grips for my 1911. These are rosewood laser-etched grips. They did come with the gold grip screws, and I really like this just kind of very classic color, the black. Believe it or not, you know, if you see my abalone grips, or you guys know I'm kind of a flashy guy, trust me, if the price point, just to put it in perspective for you, they do make this gun in a mirror polished engraved gold. You know, if it was the same price, you guys know which one I would have purchased, right? Or probably even $100 more. But one, you can't find them. If you do find them, they're over $1,000. Couldn't rationalize the price. So again, for me, with a lot of things I purchased, all about the value. I did do a little research. And when I say research, I mean looking at a couple of YouTube videos. You know, guys are like, "Oh, I did the research." Like, I'm not in a library, you know, checking specs. You know, I'm just looking at a couple guys who are pretty proficient in firearms, have a pretty good reputation, and hear what they have to say about it. One is, I think, Hickok, 45 or whatever his channel is. Guy's been around guns his whole life. Has a huge YouTube channel. You know, kind of trust what he says about things. I believe he was one of the guys who did a review on this. The other was Classic Firearms. A lot of the dudes who reviewed this said nothing but great things about it. The other thing that really drew me to this brand, in addition to the price, which kind of solidified the deal, was the fact that this brand, the Gerson or EAA, is actually, to the best of my knowledge, the official sidearm of the Turkish military. And this is a Turkish firearm. So, you know, if it's, you know, the official sidearm of the Turkish military, that it's a very reliable gun. So what I love about it, I haven't shot it yet, but what I can tell you just on my novice skill set is that, you know, the slide on it just feels absolutely fantastic. You know, it just absolutely feels solid. I mean, it locks solid. It just, everything about it feels really strong and just precise. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but the gun feels absolutely fantastic. I mean, everything about it, when I compare it to other guns I have, the other guns I felt, is fantastic. And you know, when you look at what other guys say about it, comparing to like the Beretta, most of them say there's really no difference. You know, remember, you're paying for names in a lot of things. And what I find with firearms, I know that for the guy who's going to be in combat, right, they choose different brands for law enforcement and military than they do civilian use, right? Because most of the time with civilian use, what are we going to do? We're going to plank, we're going to shoot targets. You know, if you start to compete and you're getting involved in that kind of aspect of firearms, then you might make different choices. You know, there are differences as far as accuracy and things that make guns better, triggers. But for the average guy like me who just collects, going to plink a little bit, shoot at some paper once in a while, use it, you know, as a carry gun when I feel like carrying it, or a gun this large. You know, that's really all I'm concerned with. Is it a good quality gun, and am I going to have some fun with it? And this is a fantastic quality gun. It's got a great reputation behind it. And what's great about guns like this is that these guns have been around forever. Like the 1911, any kind of hiccups or issues that they've had with that design, if any, if any at all, you know, it's been ironed out. So a gun like this has been around for a very long time. And if there is any kind of issues, it's already been fixed by numerous manufacturers who make guns like this or make clones like this. So, I mean, this is fantastic. So if you're wondering which one this is a clone of, it's not just a clone of the Beretta 92. They call it Beretta 92 style. This is actually a clone of the Beretta 93. Or sorry, the Beretta M90. Damn it. The Beretta M9. I just looked this up. You know, with all the model numbers I get... let me just double check that here so I'm not giving you guys a bump steer. Beretta M9A3, excuse me, I misspoke again. Yeah, so if you were to just look at, and this is going to be important too when you're looking for holsters, because if you look at the standard Beretta 93 or 92, when we compare these guns, there's a real difference in the trigger on them, and of course your rail. So you're going to find some of these guns with the front rail, not by EA, I mean by the Berettas. You're going to find most of them don't have this particular trigger guard. It's quite a bit different. And the only Beretta M92 style is the M9A3 that this is an actual clone of. So when you look at these things side by side, they're almost identical in every aspect. So if you are looking for a holster, I would highly recommend, if you're getting a fitted leather holster or a Kydex holster, that you buy a holster for this gun. If they make it for the gun, great. But if they don't, which a lot of companies don't make holsters for clones, get a holster for the M9A3. Screwed it up again. So for instance, Craft Holster Company, it's the guys I collaborate with all the time. In the works right now, they're making me an M9A3 holster for this gun as a cross-reference, so guys who buy this gun might be, again, saying, well, what holster will I get? It should be a perfect fit. Some of the Kydex holsters, of course, will fit multiple different variations, depending on how they're formed. With a leather holster, generally they're molded and fit for that particular gun. So the difference of the trigger guard might make all the difference on whether or not that fits. And that is to be said with Kydex as well. If you are getting something universal, generally they have just kind of a very open trigger. You can almost put any gun in there, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. There are a lot of holsters that'll fit these. There's a lot of holsters that won't if you just go with a standard M92 holster. So again, Beretta M9A3 clone, almost in every detail. Now, if you're looking at MSRP on the Berettas, you're getting about $1,100. This MSRP $468, and I got it for $347. Mind you, that is before your tax, that is before your transfer, that is before shipping. I will put a link in the description where you can pick this up, where I got it through Gunbroker. Depending on your state and your laws, it may be different for you, but absolutely fantastic price, fantastic quality. I can tell you this gun, of all the guns I have, this one feels the best in my hand. One thing this gun also does that you won't find on, I believe, the standard Beretta 92s, even the M9A3, is that Grisan actually did finger grooves here. I've heard guys say they either like it or hate it or don't, To me, for my hands, it fits absolutely perfect. It's like a glove. I think most fingers, unless you have really big sausage fingers, that might be a little bit of a discomfort for you. Not really sure, but I mean, for me, this thing is absolutely perfect. I mean, it's great. The magazines are Metgar magazines. Unfortunately, they only give you one with this particular gun. If you want to buy them, I think they're about $15 to $20 a magazine. Not over the top. Some manufacturers' magazines, you get the gun really cheap, and then the magazines are outrageous. So this is pretty affordable. You're gonna, from the best of my knowledge, you're gonna find that most Beretta M92 or M9A3 magazines will fit this gun, whether it be through Taurus or any of the other manufacturers out there. It's just a fantastic piece. What else about the gun? A lot of guys will compare, and mention things about, the slide lock or the safety and how, accessible it is to your thumb. That's all going to be personal preference. If you're really concerned with how a gun fits your hand, I highly recommend you don't just buy one offline. For me, I never held a Beretta M92 before buying this gun, but I'm not really too critical when it comes to how the gun feels in my hand. I'm just really happy just to get it. So, you may be different depending on what you're using a gun for. Again, for me, I didn't really care that, where the safety is. It's not something I'm not using this in combat. I'm not using this as like a duty pistol. I'm just going to have a little fun with it. So, but for those of you who are interested in it, for a guy my size, about 178 pounds, 5'7", not, I'd say medium-sized hands. The gun is very fat in the hand. So if you want to, go ahead and, pop the magazine out, you kind of got to reach that thumb. It's not something that's really easily accessible. If I'm holding the gun, it's something I'm going to have to kind of pull and turn sideways to pop that magazine out. As far as the slide latch, I can kind of, if I'm holding the gun straight, I can kind of, again, twist my hand and reach it and close it. Hammer is not a problem. Safety, I can reach that as well, or decocker. I was actually, pretty surprised. I know a lot of guns have decockers now, but kind of interesting. Kind of a little scary to me if you had around the chamber using a decocker, but I guess that's what it's for. With the safety on this, the trigger is completely, I guess, separated from the mechanism, which is pretty cool. I feel like it's a really safe gun to carry, you know, whether it be with around the chamber or not. You know, I feel like with that safety on, hammer down, you know, that trigger is non-functional. So pretty awesome gun. Absolutely love it. I would say the trigger pull on it when you're in double action is pretty, and I don't know what the poundage is, but it's pretty hard to pull. I don't have a problem with it, but it's, I'd say, comparable to what, you know, most revolvers would be if you ever pull the trigger on a double action revolver, or on a revolver. They're all double action for the most part. Not all, but most, okay? It's a fantastic gun. I mean, ambidextrous safety as well. I guess if you were, I guess you gotta have to have pretty long thumbs to reach that, but it's definitely a fat gun. What I kind of feel like this gun compares to me when I felt like I've handled a Desert Eagle a few times. It's just a big, huge grip. This is the largest grip on any gun that I own. And now, again, it does take 18, I think it's 17 plus 1 or 18. 18 plus 1. It's a lot of rounds, so pretty incredible. I love the gun, guys. I mean, there's not really much else I can say about it. Again, I can't really give you guys, you know, real specs on anything like that. I'm a pretty novice gun owner and gun enthusiast. You know, I like to collect them. I enjoy having them. Yeah, that's about it. So let's talk about the grips. So again, these are rosewood grips. I got these off Amazon. I let my sister know what I want for Christmas. I knew I was getting this gun. Grips for about 29 bucks. They make them kind of a darker wood. You get them like a gray. I opted for the cheaper ones. They call this just brown too. I'll put a link in the description as well. Did come with the gold screws. I think it's just a great look. You know, it's clean, it's classy, and again, you know, you can customize this however you want. I thought this would look great in the burnt bronze as well, but I just didn't want to spend the extra $100 when this was such a great value. So, as far as the specifics directly from the EAA website, you can get this. Again, it's not listed for some reason on there, but they only list it's available in the black, the flat dark earth in black, and then you can get it in a silver and black. Cerakote is a fantastic finish. Definitely something that I would highly recommend based on the tests that I've seen, the comparisons. It's one of the most durable coatings out there. But, you know, I didn't want to spend the money. As far as the caliber, as you guys should know, it is a 9mm. I'm not going to get into the length and all that specifics on here. Basic stuff, ambidextrous safety. You can get it with optics if you want, slide serrations, drift adjustable sight, and the accessory rail. All that stuff I'm not really going to use, and I'm not going to read you guys the rest of the stuff on here. I encourage you just to go to the listing, whether it be through Gunbroker. I'll put both in the in description. You can go to EAA, read from the manufacturer, look at some of the reviews, look at the owner's manual, and then you can also I'll put the link where I purchased it. So if you want to purchase it, you can do so. They're not affiliate links or anything, unfortunately, but if you're all, you know, if you want to make a purchase, you can make a purchase. Pretty cool. I mean, it's a fantastic gun. Absolutely love it. As far as, you know, I see some guys when they pull the slide back, depending on how you pull the slide back, I mean, that's kind of a personal thing. Some guys are saying it's like a little bit difficult. I don't really find it difficult. You know, it's no more difficult than any other gun I have. What I find kind of nice, and what I've noticed about parkerized finishes like this, and the serrations on this, and I compare it with my 1911 as well, they're very sharp. And so you really get a nice grip on pulling that back. Whereas, you know, when I do that with my Canic in the burnt bronze Cerakote, you really have to squeeze a little harder because they're almost, I don't want to say slippery, but they're not quite as sharp. I think that paint kind of thickens up around the edges. I'm not sure. It's the best way I'm describing it, but this to me, it just, I mean, it's a great gun. So, anyway, guys, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, really nonchalant. Haven't shot it, haven't tested it yet, but, you know, one thing I find with guns that have been around for a while, especially guns that are, you know, official guns of any organization or law enforcement, you know, Turkish military, whatever it may be, you know, they're manufactured pretty well, you know. I mean, they kind of have to be, you know. They're going to be subjected to a lot of use, a lot of, you know, range time, the combat, you know. So I think that you're getting a really great firearm here for an amazing value. So I just don't see the point in spending a lot of money on, you know. I've even seen, like, when you watch Hickok, he did a comparison with my Rock Island Armory 1911 compared to, I think it was some really expensive 1911 he had. I forget the name of it. Brown maybe. not browning, but something brown. Not sure. Again, you guys know I'm not. You know, you can obviously see I'm not super well versed with everything that's out there. So many guys with more information than me. But he was comparing it and just saying, yeah, there's differences, but it's like it was very. It rang with me with. He's making about watches, but it rang true to me because he's like, yeah, you know, these are, you know, this is a lot more expensive gun, but you know, they're not that far off. You know, there's differences, but it's not an insane difference, and that's how I kind of feel with like an Invicta and a Rolex. You know, like yeah, there's difference, but it's not. You know, is it really worth spending that much more? I don't know. Again, buy what you like, buy what makes you happy. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I'll try to help you guys the best I can. But I wanted to at least do that show and tell with you guys. Not really a review, but pretty excited about it. It's always fun to get a new toy. So stay tuned for more, guys. If you do like the content, subscribe to the channel. As always, I do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch and subscribe. That's what keeps the ball rolling. I do appreciate it. You know, YouTube channels are always dependent upon you guys. So thanks. You know, appreciate it. So, and as again, if I can help you in any way, I'm at your disposal. Have a great day, guys. Take care.